Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Craft Hoarder over here on YouTube, our own crazy little crafting corner of the universe. We are back with another episode of Paint With Me. I've got a few minutes before I have an appointment that I have to leave for. I'm going to set my timer, like up there. See, I got my little timer so that I make sure I leave on time and figured, I've got a few minutes. I'm going to have my cup of coffee, sit down and paint, and kind of do some chatting. So let's get to it. I'm going to zoom in on this section that I am working on here. Let's see if I zoom. There we go. We're going to zoom in quite a bit here. Just so you can kind of see the section that I'm working on. I'm going to do this little section right here. As you can see, I have my light pad on. And, I just sat on the tripod bag. Excuse me, I'm a mess. Make sure I didn't move that out of, there we go. So this is the section I'm working on right now. It's just a small one because, like I said, I only have like 45 minutes before I have to leave. And I'm trying to, there we go, get in a place where I can work around the painting. Hey, dog, could you be quiet for a little bit? I'm sorry, my dog is very talkative. So yeah, there's that. If you hear him in the background and it's annoying you, I apologize, but I really can't shut him up. Like, he's just a very vocal little person. So yeah, lots been happening, a lot's been going on, and this diamond painting, I actually started this diamond painting, like, it's been almost a year at this point, and to be frank, I have not been diamond painting, like, hardly at all. I've had a lot of major things going on with my business, with my life, with my kids, with just everything. So I haven't really been diamond painting, but I've been able to get on a little bit of a routine here, a little bit of a kick again. Because I'll tell you what, I really miss it when I don't do it. And like I said, this picture has been a whip for almost a year at this point, and I really just want to be done with it. So we're going to finish it and just be done with it. And I will say a few things about this kit, which also contributes to maybe why it's been taking so long, because it does kind of feel like almost like a slog in a way. To get through this one, okay, let me back up here. Let me tell you about this kit. So this is a kit that is a Diamond Art Club kit. It is called it's Hogwarts Crest Fine Oddities, and it's the Amazon edition, which is the beige edition, and I absolutely love this piece. I love this piece. The reason I am having such a difficult time getting through it is because it is an older Diamond Art Club kit. So there is some gapping. And this is also an Amazon exclusive. Which I think you can still find it on their store on Amazon, like, pretty regularly. So I don't remember it ever not being an option on there. I could be wrong about that, but I don't know. But anywho, I love this picture, and I like this picture better than the black one that is featured on Diamond Art Club. However, with this particular kit, and I think that it's more a me issue than a quality issue, because you know I love Diamond Art Club. I have a whole bunch of them, and I love the quality and all of that. On this particular canvas, I have had to repair multiple glue spots. I have the glue somewhere, not on my desk right at the moment, but I do have the glue somewhere, and I've been having to use it particularly up here in this area, quite a bit up here. As I've worked down, it hasn't been so bad, but like up in this first part, which I don't even know if you can see what I'm pointing to right now because I did zoom in on this section so much. So let me just back out a little bit so you can kind of see. Yeah, you couldn't even see what I was pointing at. Okay, so up in this area here, particularly, I repaired like 5 or 6 glue spots in there because the glue was not sticky. It was not sticky enough to hold anything, and with the putty in my pen, I was trying to put them down and it was just pulling them right back off. So, hey, do you like my coffee cup? I do. Anywho, that was kind of irksome. The other thing that is kind of irksome on this is because it is an older style kit, I'm having to single place a lot more because it's an older version of their stuff, so there is quite a bit of gapping that happens in the square drill field on these older versions. And I love the artwork enough that it's not a huge like deal breaker for me. I love it enough that I'm going to continue to finish it no matter what. Wow, that was a terrible multi-place pickup. Did you see that? Like all the drills fell off. It might be time to change my putty again. Anywho, I do love the picture and I am having fun with it, but it is a little bit of a slog. Just because there's been a few issues with it, and I don't necessarily think that is a problem with it because it's an Amazon exclusive. I don't think that's what it is. I think I just probably got just a bad run of it, and it being so much older, nothing's really been updated on this one. And I'm used to the newer, better quality, which kind of brings me into my next point a little bit here. But what am I doing? I'm doing this. So I am multi-placing still, but I'm only multi-placing like 4 at a time at most. And most of this is getting single placed. Just to try to like help with the gapping issues that I'm having. And again, I think that's just, it's such an old kit, and even, you know, the glue may even be like partially my fault because I have been traveling with this canvas like to tons of different events. It's been exposed to all kinds of different weather conditions, and I mean, I'm taking care of it, but that could still partially be my fault as well. I don't know. Anyway, lifetime warranty, that's always wonderful about it. Diamond Art Club, and it doesn't matter if you get it off of Amazon or not, because you can take anything that you purchase off of Amazon and register it on Diamond Art Club to make sure you're covered by the warranty. So that's really helpful and handy. I am using, this pen is one of the Twist and Pick pens from Diamond Art Club. I've discovered that I really love these pens, especially for a kit that I'm taking on the go frequently. It makes it easy because I don't have to deal with anything. Everything's already in my pen. And I loved my glue dots for that. And I still do love my glue dots. I just haven't gone back to using them simply, well, for one, I haven't been painting a whole lot. For two, it's just been easier to just keep using the same pen that I've been using for a while. And I don't know, I just haven't really felt like switching back yet. I will, because I love the glue. I do prefer the glue dots in the single placer part. As far as the back end, I do still prefer the putty. So the nice thing is I don't have to like switch back and forth between two different things, and that's kind of been helpful. And the tray that I am using is the Bella Art de Nicole trays. I've had these for quite a while now, and I still love them. I will tell you this, though. Do not leave these trays in high temperatures. Don't do it. I actually ruined completely one of my set of this particular color, this like greenish purpley fadey color. I ruined one of them because I had my diamond painting stuff in my car, and temperatures were like in the triple digits at the time, and I kind of forgot that I had it in my car, and I went to diamond paint with it, and it was completely warped. So don't do that. Expensive lesson learned. But it was a lesson learned, so hey, there's that. Yeah, so that was you know, a fun learning experience there. But yeah, I've been kind of busy, like really busy with the business. I meant to like write down the number, and I kind of forgot, but I did like 27 large shows, like craft shows last year. I think it was 27, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe I'm not, but I don't know. For the year of 2025. I'm pretty sure my show count was 27. And that is aside from my weekly markets. For my soap company. And it was such a blessing. It was a lot of work. Some of those shows I will not repeat again, just because it wasn't worth it to me. But I had fun at most of them, and I'm starting to get my schedule together for the year of 2026. So, we'll see what painting gets hauled around and possibly not worked on at different events. Who knows? I tend to diamond paint at events when it's really slow. Of course, now I have a partner who helps me. He is my honey, and we kind of work the events together, and so I don't get quite as bored. So I'm not really diamond painting as much at the shows either. But sometimes I still do. It kind of depends on the mood. But it's, you know, it's just a nice little, like, if it's really slow, break up the monotony of just staring at the wall kind of thing. Thankfully, not too many of my shows have been like that. There's always been, you know, for the most part, people to talk to and, you know, things to do and see. So for the most part, it hasn't been too bad, which is why partly this painting has also been taking so long, is because I'm not as unbusy as I used to be, which is a good thing. That's a good problem to have. I've discovered a few things in traveling with my paintings. One, because I am a diehard Elizabeth Ward tray system user. Like, I love those trays. However, they are not the most convenient to travel with when you have limited space to work in. And a lot of times in my booths, I'm in a 10 by 10 spot, and most of my space is taken up by my tables displaying my product. So there is not a lot of room most of the time for like extra tables or anything. And so that particular tray system doesn't exactly work for me for on the go. So this travel case that I bought last year at some point for a airplane ride has come in way more handy than I thought it would. I do like having these little, oh yuck, I just got putty on that picture, on that part of the picture. These little screw top jars in the foam case, and this one is it's a 60 color count, which I'm finding works pretty well for most of the what I would consider travel size projects that I have. So it's been working out really well. And then I have a small little light pad. In fact, I have it on my desk here, so let me show that to you. Another Amazon find. Right there. That is a rechargeable light pad that works wonders for on the go. I don't have to have any cords hucked into it or anything, and it just works out great. By the way, do you like my new setup here? I think I like it. This is actually a repurposed dish rack that I'm using as a diamond painting station over my desk. It's helping keep things clear, keeps the surface uncluttered. When I'm done painting, I just zip that up and put it on top. And, you know, I have all my little doodads right here next to me. I have a place for my coffee, which is not actually on the coaster that it should be on. You know, my bad. But anywho, I like these little travel cases. And they work great for hauling around to my different events. I'm going to zoom back in now so that you can... Oh, and then of course I moved the camera, so I got to readjust it. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be making you seasick here. I do like it for that. You can kind of see... Okay, so you can kind of see some of the gapping issues that I'm talking about when I have you zoomed in like this. Let's see what happens when I zoom you in closer. Oh yeah, you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. There is some gapping issues in this canvas, and that is because it is the older grid. It's the older grid. So, like, I kind of expect that because it is the older style grid field, but it makes it harder for me to want to work on this because I'm so used to the newer, updated drill field. Anywho, I'm kind of rambling a little bit here. How much time do I have left? 25 minutes before I have to go. So I can't be forever in trying to talk about what I wanted to talk about. But anywho, yeah, so a couple of issues, not to the point where I'm gonna stop working on this, and I love the picture enough that I am going to continue working on it. And my honey figured out how to make frames for all my diamond paintings. He was so sweet. For Christmas, he actually mounted some of the canvases that I already had done, and I had just tacked them on the wall in the hallway, because that's the space I'm trying to fill up with diamond art first, is the hallway. And he took one of them down and actually framed it, like mounted it like a canvas mounting frame, and he made that in the garage for me. And that was one of my Christmas presents from him, and he's going to do that for all of my paintings, which I think is amazing, because his point of view is, you know, I put so much work into these and they're so pretty that he wants to see them like displayed properly, but we also don't want to spend like an arm and a leg to have all of them professionally like dry mounted at like Hobby Lobby or something, you know. So he is very handy with the tools, and he went and made me some frames, which I think is wonderful. And I love that. I love that so much. So that's what's going to happen with the rest of the ones that I have on display at the moment. Come on, stick. There we go. So yeah, that's kind of some of my downsides on this canvas. Which leads me kind of into what I want to talk about this. So I have a lot of unboxings on my channel. More coming out still, because I film them in bulk and then I schedule them for release. And sorry, I have taken a huge break. Oh wow, that was a terrible job all the way around. Let's just pick all of that row off. That was horribly done. Everything just kind of fell off from my pen there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I have done a lot, like most of my unboxings have been done in great big batches, and then I upload the videos and I schedule them for release. And I do apologize if you've been wanting another one and you haven't gotten one from me, because I've kind of been taking a little bit of a break from social media, like altogether, like quite a long break, and haven't really been paying too much attention to my channel as much as I should. So there was about a month gap between my last two releases, and I do apologize for that. However, we're back on track. We are, I have things scheduled out, and diamond painting is a part of my daily routine and schedule again, and we're getting back on track. You know, I'm starting to heal from my latest injury, and you know, just able to do more things again, and I'm catching up on inventory for the company and getting all of the shows scheduled out, and then I'm working part-time on top of that, and you know, the kids. I'm homeschooling my daughter this year. So my daughter, my oldest, turned 6 in December, and I'm totally going way off topic and on a rabbit trail here, but she started kindergarten this year, and I was very unhappy with the way things were shaping out in our community with the public schooling system in my community. And I'm not saying that public school is bad. For us, it was not the right fit for her. So I have also been homeschooling my daughter on top of it, and she does like this hybrid where she's in class in a classroom setting for 2 days a week, and then she is at home the rest of the week, and we do our homework on the computer. So that has been also a very time-consuming activities, because I need to be there. She's smarter than the average bear, and she gets kind of bored with the kindergarten work, which actually her teacher is so awesome, and we are putting her in first grade curriculum this week. She started this week with that, and she's doing first grade curriculum while still staying in the kindergarten classroom, just for her, like, how do I say it? Social emotional development. What color? This one. This is the jar it's looking for. So that she's still at that level with her peers, but she's allowed to work ahead in her curriculum, which is super helpful because she's not getting as bored now. She's still breezing through first grade work like really quickly, but it's keeping her slightly more engaged than, you know, kindergarten work. But anywho, so that's been taking up quite a bit of time too. Now, I totally went off topic there, because what I wanted to talk about was, you know, these older kits that I have. I have a very large stash. I have filmed many unboxings, and I have more that you haven't seen yet that are scheduled to be released this year, that, you know, because I have a lot. And I decided that this year I am not buying any paintings. I forfeited my diamond tier status from Diamond Art Club. Gasp, sad, distressing slightly, but I'm getting over it, because I am bound and determined to do a full no buy this year. The only exception to that is if I finish enough of my stash to justify getting something during Black Friday week. I have decided that I am going to purge my stash. I'm purging it, and I don't mean purging by destashing it, because I love all of it so much. These pictures that I have, I got them for a reason, and it's because the artwork spoke to me, and I wanted the artwork, and I want to do those kits. Some of this area is just not, like, wanting to, there we go. And I love these kits, and you know, they're just sitting there, and I feel like maybe I don't think they're degrading, but like, they're not going to be as enjoyable because I'm used to the upgraded quality from the newer kits. So I've decided to, there's a gal on YouTube, I think her name is Leslie, don't quote me on that because I could be wrong. But she talked about doing a reset, and I think I don't remember if she did this last year and she's continuing it this year, or if it's just this year that she started. I think it is a continuation from what she started last year. And I stumbled across her YouTube channel, and like I said, I think her name is Lisette or something. Anywho, diamond painting detox is what she's doing. She is not buying any diamond paintings until she finishes working on her current stash. And I thought that was brilliant. So this year, the unboxings that you see are pieces of work that are already in my stash. And I want to say it's close to 150 diamond paintings. No stash shaming allowed, by the way. If you have a big stash, I'm cool with it. If you have a little stash, I'm cool with it. No stash shaming allowed. But I think it's like 150. And I'm approaching a point where it's like, okay, if I don't start working on these like diligently, I'm never going to finish. I'm just like, there's not enough time to finish these. And as busy as I am, I'm a very slow diamond painter, and it's reaching a point where it's like, well, why buy any more if I'm not going to work on them? And there's a lot of new artwork that is being released all the time, but I can't really justify buying anything because I already have so much. So this year, I am not buying. I am simply working on projects that are already in my stash, and I am going to start with some of my oldest kits that I have and save my newer kits for like towards the end, because I'm finding it harder to work on these older kits because I've already adapted to the new kit adjustments. And that goes for multiple companies. Like, Diamond Art Club is not the only company that has made vast improvements on their kits in the last couple of years. And I have a hard time wanting to work on these older ones that I bought because I love the artwork and I can't get them anymore because they are older. And I absolutely love the artwork and I want to have the finished piece, but I'm not enjoying the process of working on them as much because they're older. And there's been so many great improvements, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing. That is not a complaint. That is a good thing. However, it makes it difficult. And for those of you that have a large stash and you're pulling out these older kits, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you don't. Maybe it's just me. But anywho, I'm having a harder time wanting to work on the older ones. So this year is a no-buy year. I am going all of 2026 without purchasing a diamond painting. I will only make an exception if I have reached like a halfway point, or like during that, like those Black Friday large releases and there's just something I just can't pass up kind of thing. If it's one of those things where it's like limited edition, never going to be run again, and I just can't pass it up, I might be tempted to give in. But I'm going to try really hard to have this year be a complete no-buy year. And just work on as many of my older kits as possible. And see how many I can get done by December. That is the goal, is to see how many of these I can finish by December. And celebrate that they are out of my stash. They are up on my wall where I wanted them to begin with. And it gives me room to purchase something in the future. Future me will love me right now. Future me is going to love my past me right now for this. I am refreshing my stash. I am going from ground zero up. So that is the goal this year. And I think it will work out wonderfully. I will make an exception if I hit certain milestones. And I haven't decided what those milestones are yet, but as kind of a reward. But those kits will be saved. Oh no, what color was that? Those kits will be saved for the very end because they'll be newer versions. And I will, the other exception that I'm going to make is the mini dazzles. I'll make an exception on those because those are kits that both of my girls, my 4-year-old and my 6-year-old, oh my gosh, 4 and 6. And then my 4-year-old is going to be 5 in just a few months. Like, it's crazy. I don't understand how they got so big so quickly. But anywho, we diamond paint together as a kind of like family activity. So I will get more of those when we run out of what we currently have, because those are easier for my youngest to work on. My oldest is really good at diamond painting and she thoroughly enjoys it, and she will sit there for hours and hours and hours focused on one project, just like her mama, because her brain just works that way, and she loves it. She absolutely loves it. My littlest is also like her mama in that she does not have a whole lot of patience or attention span. So, and her patience and attention isn't quite focused on the diamond art at this point. She loves to do it with us as an activity, and she'll sit here for, quite a long time. I mean, she's 4, so an hour is a very long time for a 4-year-old, and she will sit there and paint with us for an hour, and then she's done, and she wants to move on. And at that point, it's time to move on to playing or doing something else, like making something in the kitchen or playing or making another art project or something, right? Because if I let my oldest sit here, she'll sit here for like 10 hours solid. I just realized I haven't drinking any of my coffee. So that is the only exception that I am going to make this year. And as of this point, like, I might make an exception if there's a really cool picture and I've hit a really awesome milestone, like 20 paintings or something like that. But for the most part, it's a no-buy year, except for the minis, because it's a good activity with my kiddos. And I think that is a fair thing to do, because it keeps all of us involved together as a quiet time activity that we can all do together, and they love it. So that'll probably be my only exception, is if I run out of mini dazzles and need some minis for me and the kids to work on. Because what we'll do is we will take a mini dazzle kit and we'll break it up and divide the pictures among us, and I let the kids pick out what they want, and then I'll just take the leftovers kind of thing and work on those with them while they work on theirs, and it works out great. So that'll probably be my only exception for this year. Other than that, it is a refresh your stash year for me. Thank you, I want to say your name is Lizette, for making that suggestion, because it is a wonderful idea, especially after working on one of these older kits, having just finished some newer ones. So love that idea, and I'm on board. I'm on board. So that's the plan this year. You'll be seeing a lot more Paint With Me episodes versus unboxing. A lot more Paint With Me episodes this year versus unboxing episodes. And hopefully a lot more finished product reviews. This one is a little over halfway done at this point, and I'm really looking forward to like having this be on my wall, and it'll go in my Harry Potter corner that I have, and it'll be beautiful, and I'm super excited about it, especially with my honey making a frame for it to be on. It'll be beautiful. I'm very excited. So that's kind of my goals. I'm running out of time here, and this video is getting kind of long. So I'm going to hurry up and down some of this coffee. Excuse me a moment. Oh, that's hot. It's hot. I need the coffee. I have so much to do today. So in general, that's kind of the plan, and that's kind of the direction the YouTube channel is going to be going in this year. And I hope you all join me on my journey, because this is going to be a multi-year venture, I think. Because I am bound and determined I am not going to add anything to my stash until my stash is gone. I want my stash gone so that I can, rebuild it with cool new projects. That's kind of the goal. So yeah, thank you guys for coming in and stopping by. Drop me a comment and down in the comment section. Would you be interested in doing that? I'm not the original idea creator of that by any means, but are you interested in joining the fun? I'm not doing any events for it or anything, but I think she might be doing some here or there. I know there's a lot of other painters in the community that have been talking about like refreshing their stash, and is that something that you would be interested in doing, or are you going to continue to build your stash? Has your stash gotten to a point where you feel like you have to do that? Or are you just happy with one or two in your stash? What does your stash look like? I think I'm going to do a stash video. Like, what does my stash look like right now? What are my whips in progress? What am I working on? What do I have that I have to work on? That might be a future video. For the time being, though, that's the end of this episode of Paint With Me. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Y'all be cool, be kind, stay safe out there, and see you next time. Peace out.